The fifth sort of a modal verb for the assumption about the past to cause the different condition with the present is the modal verb would. The speaker applies the modal verb would to reveal that the definition of the verb was expected by the subject at the point in the past as a milestone to be actualized later than the point in the past, but it's not actualized at the present with the application of the modal verb would. The form of the modal verb would reveals that this clause is stated in the past tense, and the gap between the milestone in the past to make the subject to cause to exist at the present and the present. The other milestone after the subject was allowed to take the different milestone from the milestone to cause the subject to exist at the present. The speaker can state the experience, condition, or action that was supposed to be actualized from the milestone to cause the subject not to exist at the present. The modal verb will reveals that the clause is stated in the future tense, and the expectation delivered in the clause that the modal verb will is applied in can be this milestone. The expectation did not become the reality, so the statement that the modal verb would is applied reveals that the expectation that did not become the reality. The form of the modal verb would reveals that the clause is stated in the past tense. The past tense reveals that there is a gap between the present when the speaker states the clause and the experience or the expected experience, condition, or action in the past that did not become the reality. The form of the modal verb would reveals the gap between the milestone in the past and the present when the speaker states the clause. The expectation is a sort of the assumption. This slide is about the definition of the modal verb would. The expected experience, condition, or action that was not kept or that did not become the reality connotes that there is a possibility still at the present to that about the expectation to become the reality. The tense signified by the modal verb would reveals the gap between the present and the past when the speaker expected the subject to actualize the definition of the verb. In this clause, the modal verb will might be applied, but the expectation did not actualize into the reality. The speaker expected that the definition of the verb described by the modal verb would was actualized at a point in time later than the past when the speaker expected the actualization, but that is not the present. There is an image to visualize the x-axis and the two-way street. We are standing right here at the point number 1, the present when the speaker states the clause. And we consider the point number 2 as the standard to judge the past tense revealed with the form of the modal verb could, might, should, and or would. The description of the number 2 is this. The past when the speaker expected the subject to actualize the definition of the verb. As we are standing right here, number 2, and we can suppose that time did not pass through the number 2. We can consider the point number 2 as the present. Then we can understand that this point can be described with the modal verb will or shall, can or may. Time flew and we reached out to this point, number 1. We set the point number 1 as the present, and the speaker at the present can think of the other possibility that we could go after taking the other route besides the route that we took actually. Let's read the description of the point number 3. The assumed point in time when the subject actualizes the definition of the verb. This is the assumed point, so I visualize the root with a dotted line because it's not the root that we actually have taken from the point number 2. We can express our we can state the clause about our assumption, and the assumed experience, condition, or action cannot be pinpointed to reveal the actualized time that was visualized into this dotted line. Let's read the description. The tense of the modal verb would signifies the gap between the pinpoints number 1 and 2. The speaker states the clause with the modal verb would at the present indicated by the pinpoint number 1. The present point in time is the standard to set the tense of the clause compared to the other point of time. The speaker assumed the subject to actualize the experience, condition, or action indicated by the phrase of the verb to include the modal verb would at the assumed point in time indicated by the pinpoint number 3. The definition of the verb described by the modal verb would is about this point, number 3. So the speaker at the present, represented as the pinpoint number 1, states the clause about the assumed point in time, represented as the pinpoint number 3. So the clause is stated by the speaker at the point number 1. The statement, the definition of the verb deals with this point in time, and the form of the modal verb would, should, could, or might reveals the gap between the point number 1 and 2. So the combination of the modal verb would, should, could, or might connotes the gap between the point number 1 and 2, and the interpretation of the assumed experience, condition, or action according to the definition of the verb described by the modal verb related to the reason why there is a root forward the number 3. There is a clause She would eat a bowl of salad. The speaker expected to actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb eat at a point in the past. Sorry? Let's understand this clause with this image. At this, before time flows until the point number 1, we can think of the number 2 as the milestone. There can be a clause, she will eat a bowl of salad. She did not eat the bowl of salad. So, she was able to, the one allowed her to take the next step of time to reach out to the point number 1. At the point number 1, the speaker can state the condition, the assumed condition of the subject, she, while revealing the possibility to actualize the action described by the definition of the transitive verb eat. So we can say that the form of the modal verb would reveals that the gap between the point at the present and the point in the past as the milestone, and the definition of the transitive verb eat is about this point, number 3. Thank you for watching.